Hello, good day. I am teacher Magdalena Bernardino, and I will be presenting my video, which is Bias and Unbias, Quarter 3, Module 1. This will be my COT for this Quarter 3. Thank you very much. And for our Lord's Prayer to guide us through our lesson. Okay, now our topic is examining bias and unbiased statements, English 8, Quarter 3, Module 1, Week 1. And for our most essential learning competency, examine biases for against made by the author, EN 8 RC 3.1.12. For our God integration, positive mindset for good mental health. Okay, we should be feeling good about our mental health, and we have our motivation for this. Our mental health is part of our daily living, so you should feel happy every day because it affects you in all matters. Checking in, how are you? Hope you are okay. Okay? Are you okay? I'm listening. Tap the person beside you. I'm here for you. It gets better and better. Be kind to yourself. One step at a time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're getting better and better every day. So you should take care of your mental health. I'm your best friend. You are strong. Okay, for our topic, these are motivations. We have studied the bias and unbiased statement. What are these? Read the paragraph and analyze the statements. Bias and unbiased. Number 1, men look for pretty women to be their partners in life. Number 2, men and women enjoy equal protection of the law. Number 3, women should not try to improve for their physical appearances. Number 4, ugly-looking women have hard time finding their partners in life. Number 5, women with a mustache should make the same money as others do. Let's analyze what are the words used in the articles. Number 2. Okay. What do you call the words that are subjective way of thinking and tells only the one side of the story? It leads to inaccurate information or wrong impression. Okay. What do you call this? Inaccurate information, one-sided. Yes, it is bias. Okay? Bias. These are not good statements. Okay? Bias. What is it? Bias is a subjective way of thinking that tells only one side of the story that sometimes lead to inaccurate information or wrong impression. It is a prejudice or in favor of or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way considered to be unfair, a favoritism for something an author is writing about. Okay. The inaccurate information or the one-sided story leads to wrong impression. To be truly biased means to lack a neutral viewpoint on a topic. Let's say you like Coke over Pepsi. You were somewhere and wanting to drink soda, then only had Pepsi, and you decided to drink water. Instead, you would be showing your bias towards Coke. You need also to find out words that are alternatives in some words, often showing bias. Because of these ideas, to recognize bias, one must consider the following. Look for loaded words. These are words that are filled with emotion, might be positive or negative, can reveal an author's opinion about his or topic. Watch out for stereotypes. This happens when the author labels an entire group. Stereotyping is name-calling. For example, group of this and that, group of this and that. Okay, do you understand? To recognize bias, notice vague language or generalizations. It is when the author isn't using a specific language or words. Look for one-sided arguments. This is when the author presents only one side of the arguments. There are many vague language that you cannot understand, so you should make it clear. Okay, here is some possible sources of bias. The speaker relying on incomplete information. The speaker is trying to deceive the listener or reader. The speaker wants to believe what he or she is saying. The speaker's writer's past experience influencing his or her thinking. The speaker's writer is trying to persuade the listener or reader. Okay, these are the possible sources of bias, so you should avoid this kind of bias. Relying on information only or limited information. Deception. What is the belief or the philosophy and the past experiences? There is an activity here. Write it in your notebook. Very good. Write the alternatives of the following words that show bias. Man-made, mankind, old lady, common, handicap. What can you say about this kind of people? Handicap, common man, old lady. Can you create your own bias on this? Tell whether the following texts are biased or unbiased. He has had a physical handicap since he was 5 years old. Number 2. There are many elderly people in our town. Okay. Number 3. What can you say about this? Handicap, elderly. What are the biased or unbiased statements that you can say about this? Number 3, riding a motorcycle should show facts about the good gas mileage, fun, and agility. If he is elected, he would be the first person of color in the White House. Number 5, we shall consider the ordinary people who have no own vehicle during quarantine. Okay, what are the bias that you can say about this? Okay. Share your insights you gained from these lessons. How do you identify biases? Why is it important to know your biases? Number 3, how do you manage biases? Number 4, why is it important to know the other side on certain issues? Okay, these are the insights you gain from this lesson. You can share it with your classmates. Very good. Thank you very much for the answers. It will be graded accordingly. Let's answer. What do you need to consider recognizing bias? Look for loaded words. These are words that are filled with emotion. Number 2, watch out for stereotypes. Number 3, notice vague language. Letter D, all of the above. Yes, very good. What is the answer for this? What do you need to consider recognizing bias? Remember, loaded words, stereotype, vague language. Yes, the answer is letter D. Yes, that's it. Okay. So, you should remember this. Do not be biased to anyone. Like in our God. To protect your positive, good mind health. Elaine is very rude. She calls so late at night, sometimes as late as 9 at night. Last week she called me Sarah instead of Miss Olson. I quickly corrected her, so disrespectful. Today she came over for lunch and brought cookies without even asking if it was okay. What if we had already made cookies? The author is biased against A. Elaine, B. Sarah, C. Rude children, D. Mrs. Olson. Okay, this paragraph is stating rude statements to, yes, Elaine. Okay, let's answer number 3. Which of the following words help show the author's bias? Elaine is very rude. She calls so late at night, sometimes as late as 9 at night. Last week she called me Sarah instead of Miss Olson. I quickly corrected her. A, rude. B, weak. C, cold. D, corrected. Okay, the following words or bias or bad words is, yes, rude. And other writing about Mustang convertibles uses words such as performance, speed, fuel efficiency, wind, luxury. What can you infer about the author's bias? Dislike sports car. B likes Mustang convertibles. C think Mustangs are for old people. D think Mustangs are dangerous. Okay, these are the answer for this are like Mustangs convertibles. Okay, what else? Okay, very good. Now, these are bias in media. Here are some examples of it. You can read it clearly in your module as we are discussing it online, and all your answers are all correct. There are so many issues about biased statements and unbiased statements, and what is unbiased language that you observe in this situation. You can take down of it in your notebook. Okay, these are the tips to avoid bias in writing. Note it one by one. Okay, here. Read and analyze the following statements. Write B if the statement is biased, and U if it's neutral. 1. Rich and powerful men can easily find partners in life. Yes, B or U? Alright, very good. B. Men and women have equal rights. B or U? Okay, there's no correct or right answer. You can write it in your note. In your assessment, number 1, what opinion affects the author's writing? A. Bias, C. Credibility, etc. Number 2, what does it mean to show bias? Okay, to be angry, to show knowledge. Okay, number 3, what is the author's subject of bias in the paragraph? Beauty, men, power, woman. Number 4, and number 5, women empowerment. These are the key answer, 1A, 2C.